Chapter 5, Can Change Happen in an Instant? Today, Tony asked the question, why is it most people think that change takes so long to happen? His first reason is because most people try to change over and over and over again without ever being able to change. The second reason is because we're conditioned to link we have negative associations to instant change.
A good example of that would be someone that's lost a loved one, right? We typically would judge that person if they were able to able to change the way they feel quickly. We'd say, oh, well, they didn't really love that person if they were able to do that quickly. Another example would be breaking an addiction. If someone stops cold turkey, we tend to think, well, you must not have really been addicted if you could just change it that easy.
We are each responsible for the success and the failure of our changes. No one else. Tony shared a story about a seminar he had just finished, and a lot of people were coming out, and some guy just approached him and he said, hey, Tony. And he's like, do you remember who I am? And Tony was kind of like, he was taken back a little bit. He's like, man, I've been through 1,000 people this month that I've talked to. I'm not sure. He's like, I do remember you. We had a private session a few years back, and I think it was related to smoking, right? Like, you were trying to quit smoking. He's like, well, how are you doing with that? And the guy looks at Tony, and he goes under his jacket, and he pulls out a box of cigarettes, and he says, not good, you didn't change me. And Tony's like, wow, okay. He's like, well, you were with me for an hour, and how long were you able to hold off cigarettes? And he said, I was able to stop smoking for 1.5 years, and then the change just didn't work. You didn't change me. And it was at that point that Tony realized that I'm not responsible for these people's changes. I can help them and I can be some guidance to them, but it's his responsibility to continue on with that change.
Right. And Tony also says that all change does really happen in an instant. He said what we're accustomed to taking time is the preparation to change.
So Tony had a list of 3 things that are really the essentials of making change happen. And number 1 is we must believe that something can change.
Right, and the second one is taking responsibility for it and saying, I must be the one to change it.
And number 3 is, I can change it. I am able to change it, and I will change it.